Hey guys, Aaron Radcliffe here with Nomads Nation. We do digital nomad content and we do backpack reviews, dude. And today's backpack review is going to be the Nomatic Backpack review. I'm so stoked about this review because Nomatic is one of those popular and therefore controversial backpack brands on the market. You either love them or you hate them. So to help you decide, I'm gonna tear this bag apart. We're taking this backpack through the streets of Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam so you can see the way the Nomatic Backpack is meant to function in an urban environment. We're gonna go through everything. We're gonna talk about the specs, the way that it feels, the style, the front, the middle, the back. And then at the end of the video, we'll take the review off the streets, go back to my co-working space where I'll let you know the overall pros of the backpack, the overall cons, who I think this backpack is perfect for, and who this bag is not good for. But don't worry, if this backpack is not the pack for you, I'll tell you exactly which one is. And if this is your thing, guys, if backpack reviews and digital nomad and travel content is your bag, please hit the like button and definitely subscribe. It helps with the growth of our channel and you'll be notified anytime we make a badass new backpack video. Let's go. Let's chat about some of the specs of the Nomatic Backpack. Two things to take into consideration. First of which is the price, $260 US. It's not cheap, I know, but I do think that if this backpack suits your needs, it's completely worth it. The other spec to take into consideration is the capacity. What size is the backpack? And the Nomatic Backpack is a 20 liter that can expand to a 24 liter. I'll show you how it does that in the middle section. 20 liters is a perfect size for an everyday, day-to-day sort of a backpack. This backpack is best for a digital nomad or somebody looking for a business backpack. And this can help you on your day-to-day carry, going from work to home to the office and everything in between. If you're in the market for something that's a little bit bigger, check the links below where I'll link to the Nomatic Travel Pack as well as the Nomatic Travel Bag, both of which are really similar in the style, but have larger capacity. Time to chat about the style of the Nomatic Backpack. Now listen, style doesn't matter to everyone. Me, I care. I like the way my bag looks. It's important. It says something about me. It gives off a vibe. And I think Nomatic has done a really good job of making a stylish backpack. I would say this bag was designed 1A for ultimate functionality, but a very close 1B was to look sexy as f while doing it. As you can see, it's got like this businessy, like sleek, leathery sort of a look to it. I mean, think about it. Like if you look at this, coming into a business meeting, wearing this thing, plopping it down, it's like, guys, I have a solution for how to fix Q1 profits. Oh my God, who's this dude with his solution? Like that's what this allows you to do. This is why it's one of the best, if not the best business backpack on the market. If you're kind of sick of the messenger bag or you're sick of the briefcase look and you want something that's a little bit more practical, because backpacks are so much more practical than a briefcase, then that's what this does perfectly. Also, this backpack can be turned into a briefcase. We'll discuss this in a little bit more detail though, further in the review. And you gotta understand though, with this style, you're going to get a little bit of compromised functionality. We'll talk about the zippers in the next section. And this sleek material as well, while it looks nice and smooth and leathery, we'll talk about some of the disadvantages of it later. Particularly, I like what they did in the fact that it is traditional in the sense that it's boxy, which is good for functionality. It means you have edges and corners so you can fit more stuff. But they kind of smoothed it out with this sort of like spoon shell, whatever opening shape to it. And it doesn't make it look just like a blob of a box. So that's nice, it gives it a little sleekness. And as for the style, the color is really important, but Nomatic only comes in one color option, as you see before you, the black on black on black on black. But more or less, from like a style perspective, I think Nomatic crushed it. Style, let's see, looks good. Up next, how does the backpack feel? There's a few things to take into consideration. First, like, what's the comfort, man? Like, how does it actually feel to have the Nomatic Backpack on your back? And really, it feels great. Straight up, feels great. I mean, obviously for a $250 or $260 US backpack, you expect it to be comfortable. But it's got a really nice feel to it. The straps feel nice, especially when you're connected in with a sternum strap. The whole thing feels very tight and very secure, and just, it's got a nice kind of vibe to it. And there's also some great back padding, and the shoulder straps are comfortable. Just overall, the comfort is great. But with the feel of the backpack, it's not just how it feels on your back. It's also like, how do the materials feel when you're interacting with them? How do the zippers feel? Let's go over on this bench and I'll show it to you. So let's start with the exterior materials. So the exterior materials are mostly tarpaulin. Tarpaulin is what gives it kind of like its smooth and leathery feel. Tarpaulin is a great material for a few reasons. One, looks sexy. Two, it's durable and it's gonna be water resistant. But on the con side, and keep this in mind, tarpaulin is easily scratched. So if you see right here, actually, this little scratch right there, I think I bumped against something, and that scratch is now a permanent fixture of my Nomatic Backpack. Similar to the WANDRD Provoke 21 or 31, which is also made of tarpaulin. I mean, if you scratch that thing, it's just going to be there forever. But for me, it's not that big of a deal, because like, I don't mind a little wear and tear on my backpacks. I think it's nice, it gives it a little bit of character. But if you're like really trying to find a really mature, professional, business looking backpack, then just be aware that this material scratches super, super, super easy. Next up is the interior materials. People don't think that I should talk about interior materials, and I'm like, wait, but the interior materials are just as important. Like, the experience of the way the bag feels, you're not just touching the outside, you're actually interacting with the inside more than the outside. Like, you're always going inside and your hands are rubbing up against this stuff, you know? And like, does it feel good or does it feel like shit? And fortunately, all of Nomatic's interior materials feel freaking awesome. It's high quality stuff. I'll get a little bit deeper into it when we actually jump into the middle and the front of the pack, but just know that the interior materials rock. And finally, let's talk about the way that the zippers feel. This will be my first major criticism of the Nomatic Backpack, because the zippers aren't great. They're great in terms of durability. They'll last the test of time because they're YKK and they're weather resistant. I mean, you see that lock right there? I mean, not only does it look good, but ain't no water getting into that bad boy. But unfortunately, with the shape of the zips, like it coming down like this and around, there's just like a lot of like movement and weaving with these zippers. And because of this watertight sealing, the zippers just require a little bit extra oomph. While I say this is a con, it doesn't have to be. You just gotta go into this backpack with like a certain mentality. And the mentality is, when I open my Nomatic Backpack, I just need to really engage my wrist. You're not dealing with snags so much per se, like, and that's the good thing. So these are quality zippers. You're not gonna get like stuck in very many places, but you're just gonna deal with resistance. It's a slow zip, man. It's not like some of the other zippers where you can just like grab it with your pinky and just like, like it's not like that. Like, you gotta put a little bit of oomph into these zippers. But like I said, while that's a con, on the pros, it adds to the sleek look with this waterproof lining, and it makes sure the zippers are super, super durable. Of this pack is actually one of my favorite features of this pack, but like of any front of any backpack ever. Let me show you why. All right, so a few things. First up, the Nomatic logo. I like it. It's not too big. It is a little bit brandy, as in, you know, you got a big ass like stamp with a lot of letters in there. But in comparison to Nomatic's old branding, where they had like all these little mountains in the background as well, this is a huge upgrade. But let's talk about the coolest part of the front of the backpack, and that is this front access pocket right here. This front access pocket is so freaking cool. The reason I like it so much is, well, because think about like what a front access pocket is supposed to be. It's something that you can put in that you need to grab quickly. The bigger and bulkier stuff that you don't need to access as quickly, that goes in the main compartment. But this spot is for the things that you need to unzip, grab, zip close, done. And if you look at the Nomatic Backpack, they're obviously in love with organization. The organization on this front pocket is so freaking cool. So you got these 4 mesh pockets on top. I like to use these for like phone chargers, battery, hand sanitizer. Safety first, kids. And you got some tissue. And then below it, you have a notebook holder. I have like 27 notebooks. So I love having a designated place for my notebook. And then on the outside, we have an RFID safe pocket. This means that there's technology in this pocket that'll keep things like your passport and credit cards safe. Anything that has little chips in it that could be scannable, okay? So that's why I like to keep my passport in there, wallets. This is a great pocket for that. And then down here, we've got a couple of pen holders, a couple more elastic pockets, and another small little zipper pocket here, which I like to keep for like spare backup cash. So as you can see, this front compartment is just a whole lot of wow. There are more pockets and organization in this front compartment alone than there are in some backpacks like combined. I can't say it enough. I think this front compartment is so cool, but only for those who need it. Like if you're looking for a minimalist pack that you just want to throw a couple of clothes in, hold your keys and hold your wallet, this is obviously going to be such overkill for you. But if you're a digital nomad and you're looking for, a spot for everything, then I think that this is possibly one of the best, most expensive, but one of the best options on the market. Aside from that pocket, and like I said, the zippers can be a little tough, but more or less, they work pretty well. I always recommend popping the zippers on top like this, joints meeting in the middle, and you can just kind of do it like this. I found that to be the easiest way to use the zippers. Heading a little north, we have another quick access pocket. This one is with a soft linen material. So therefore it's good for things like your sunglasses, cell phone. I always pop my AirPods in there. As you can see, it's got a really nice material in there. It's super soft. And deep inside, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little hole right in there, and that's good for you can actually pass a cord through there if you want to keep a charger, like a battery, in the backpack and keep your phone charging. Pretty nifty little thing. Overall, it's a great pocket. I literally have no complaints. So while I do have things about the Nomatic Backpack that I'm not crazy about, we'll get to that soon. The back. When it comes to the front, I think it's so cool, man. I think it's so enjoyable. Like, it's so cool. You're just walking, you're doing your thing. You're like, oh shit, I need to wash my hands real fast. You just grab this, little sanitizer action, boom. Keep it clean for the kids. Dip it back up. You're on your way. Like, I love that. So you're in your location, maybe you're home, maybe you're in a new country, you want to stop at a bar, grab some chips, maybe get some work done. This is the perfect time to use the middle of the pack. So let's talk about the middle of the pack. First up, let's discuss these sides real fast. Each side is the same. You've got a handle and this nifty yet controversial water bottle holder. Let's start with the handles. There's nothing really to sing home about with these. They're comfy, they're nice, they're not super padded. I don't love the whole handle game on the sides, especially when it mixes into the whole briefcase transition thing, which I'll explain in the next section. But more or less, these handles are good. They serve a purpose. I give them an above average score. I think that they're this way because the aesthetics are really important. It couldn't be like a big beefy handle like this guy on the side. The real sort of slim profile was really important. So it all works pretty well. This water bottle holder though, let's have a chat. This is super controversial in the backpack world. Some people think it's genius, other people think it is what? In quoting a friend of mine who is a designer and makes backpacks, he said it's a disaster. I'll let you decide. So here's the water bottle, here's the holder. So what you have is a magnetic solution as to where if you're not using it, this part of the water bottle holder and this part connects like that, which looks great. It helps it kind of keep it glued to the side so there's no excess dangle and it keeps that slim sort of a profile. So when it's closed, it looks great. But here's where it gets disastrous. Is some people think that when the water bottle is actually loaded into it, it just looks weird. If you can see it head on, it just sticks out and this flap is all like that. And you know, it went from like a super sleek, sort of a sexy, futuristic backpack to like having, I don't know, it's just, it does look a little off to me. And I don't know why Nomatic made two of them. I guess maybe there's like some like Zen balance thing they're trying to do. I think that one would have been more than sufficient. And as for the magnetic solution, I think they had to do it. So I'm kind of a fan. I know that it does look a little bit off when there is a water bottle in there and this thing's sticking out and it's like, rah! It's like a deformed bat or something. But if you're not using the water bottle, the pros of it looking nice and sleek and glued to the side like that, I think outweigh the cons. So overall, I give it 2 thumbs up. Now, before we jump into the actual inside the main compartment, let me tell you about the expandability. So remember I said this backpack is 20 liters, but it can expand to 24 liters? Here's how. All you do is you take this zipper right here, undo the whole thing, rotate all the way through, and you go from 20 to 24 liters. See that right there? This is pretty darn cool. Now here's the deal with expandability. A lot of backpacks utilize this, some better than others. I don't love it on larger backpacks. So some backpacks, you'll see the competitors do expandable backpack from like 30 to 40 liters. I don't think it works as well. When it's a larger backpack and it's expanded and you have this space, it just looks off and it doesn't look as good and the bag sort of sags a little bit. But for going for 20 to 24 liters, I think it's awesome, man. It gives you that extra 4 liters, it helps the bag breathe a little bit, and you're not really sacrificing much to get it. All right, but now let's jump into the most important part. Like I said, we're at the bar. We're here to knock out a little bit of work. We're digital nomads. This is a digital nomad pack. Show us what you got. Now remember, this pack opens a little bit differently. You have like this like, well, I don't know how I described it earlier, but you know, the zipper is that shape. So you go ahead and you're just gonna open it from the top and bring it on down, and we have the main compartment. It's kind of beautiful, isn't it? Yet again, this backpack is made for digital nomads, business people, people who love to organize, and people who have tech gear. If you're not in that category of people, it's probably not gonna be the bag for you. Unlike the front compartment, which didn't necessarily need to be like techie, you could just kind of put, you know, the hand sanitizer in there, a battery. When it comes to this section, it's really suited for and really designed for people who have laptop and work equipment. Let's start on this side, guys, where you can see a couple of pockets where I keep my mouse pad and my wrist holder. These pockets are awesome. And also what's awesome are mouse pads and wrist holders. Digital nomads, check this out. If you haven't seen one of these, you put your mouse right here and you rest your wrist on that. Oh my God, it's a lifesaver. But anyways, these pockets can hold anything. And like I said, remember the quick access pocket? Right here, we have the cord pass-through hole, so you can actually keep your battery in here. Put the cord through up top, whip it through here, and then you can actually charge your phone in this pocket here. This feature, quite nifty. I love these pockets. The mesh feels super high quality with just a little elasticity to it. The zippers are great. It's all awesome. Let's jump into this section though, the actual main compartment. So we have 4 elastic pockets on each side. This is quite cool. This actually comes with the backpack right here in this little elastic mesh pocket. This is a glasses holder, okay? I love this. This is something that everybody needs. Everybody has sunglasses. When you're done using your sunglasses, you pop it in the linen case, pop it in the hard shell case, you just go ahead and put it right there, and it's good to go. This is one of those things that only Nomatic does, and it shows their commitment to actual practicality and functionality. I love that addition. Below it, I put my reading glasses, but you can really use these for anything. But these elastic mesh compartment pocket thingamajoggers are good for bigger items, but the ones on this side are good for smaller items. These are a bit smaller. They don't really expand quite out as big, but check this out. In this bottom left-hand pocket, you have a little key leash. It's actually clipped inside there. It may be hard to see, but you can go ahead and see that you can take your keys out with this little leash. And it's badass, dude. I have a pro and a con with this. The pro is that the key leash is far and away the coolest thing I've ever seen in terms of like organization and functionality with your keys. Think about it. You have your keys on this leash and you want to unlock your door and boom, they just go right back into place. It's awesome. But on the con, I wonder and debate about if this was the best place to put it. So think about it, you have the backpack on and you wanna swing it around in front of you and grab your keys as quickly as possible. You have to actually open this and like get into here to do that. So I wish that there was just some way that Nomatic would have figured out a better way to perhaps put the key system in this pocket, which is a little bit more accessible. So you win some, you lose some. After that, we have what I refer to as the digital nomad mecca. This is where you keep your Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse. I'm telling you, digital nomads, if you are not using an external Bluetooth mouse, you need to change. It is so important for ergonomics and comfort on a day-to-day basis. This is a game changer. We've got our charger, a little bit of a tight fit for all these things, but they feel secure, and at the end of the day, in digital nomad mecca, you just don't complain. You've got a tablet holder, which I don't have any tablets, so I carry things like books. I've got a notebook stash. And then finally, at the top part, we have the actual laptop compartment. This whole digital nomad mecca area feels a little bit loose and flimsy for my taste. It's not that it's bad, it's just that, I don't know, I feel like maybe it could have been just tightened up a little bit. But aside from that, I really can't complain because this is one of the coolest features of any backpack I've ever seen. Like I said, if you're just some average Joe looking for like a day-to-day gym bag, you don't need all this shit. But for a business professional or a digital nomad, this is a godsend, man. Like, this is your portable office. And think about it, if you're a digital nomad, that's what you need. Like, as a digital nomad, the world is your office. I'm at a bar just eating some French fries with my special sauce, and all of a sudden, I wanna get some work done. Boom, bust out my laptop. That sauce is good. Bust out my mouse, bust out my keyboard, bust out my mouse pad, all that stuff, and now my office is here. And the best part is, when you need that little extra space, you can see that 24 liters does add a bit. Okay, here, let's take a look at the before and the after. So this is before, man, and it definitely tightens up, okay? But if you want to let it breathe a little bit, you got a little more digital nomad gear. You open this up, pop it in, and boom, we have life. Now, the last thing that I want to say about this, and this is really speaking to my digital nomads out there. Digital nomads, eye contact, you and me, let's go. I want to put it out there. You don't need the digital nomad mecca. There's an alternative. You still can organize your gear without having all this stuff, without the Nomatic Backpack, and it's called using a tech pouch. I use the Peak Design tech pouch with my other backpacks, and all of these slots and containers and everything, I can put it all into there. Maybe not all, but like most of it. So the thing to take into consideration is that if you still want this sort of organization, but you just don't want to have like a walking office with you, you can carry a tech pouch around that'll have most of your nooks and crannies and your digital nomad gear. But having said that, no tech pouch can hold as much or organize as well as the Nomatic Backpack can, and that's why I still think it's probably the overall best option. I think they did an amazing job with this backpack, and I'm really blown away. Or am I? Let's now end all the happy vibes and let's take you to the back of the pack where I'm gonna have a few more critical things to say. All right, dudes, last section, let's talk about the back of the Nomatic Backpack. First up, we have something very, very, very interesting and unique and kind of cool, but also kind of shitty, this handle. First of all, the handle itself it's fine. I prefer a little bit more, I don't know, like it gets a little weird with the grab with the two materials. This bottom material is nice and soft, which feels great, but this top material isn't so much. And when you reach around and grab it, this top tarpaulin material is actually kind of hard and doesn't really work too well, but it's okay. But here's what's weird about it, is that normally a top handle is attached to the top part. But given this whole setup and like this little diagonal thing, they put the top handle on the straps. Now this occurs in backpacks sometimes, but it's a little bit rare in the world of like more these craft, like luxury backpacks. And it has more cons than I think that it has pros. I know that they were forced into this decision, but some things really suck about it. Most of which, there's not like a firmness when you're holding. Like normally if there's a top handle here, it's connected to the base of the backpack, so like it's firm and it's stiff. But here when you're holding the handle, it's connected to the straps, and it's kind of like it's just like it lacks that, you know, that strength. What's the Gladiator quote? Strength and honor. We'll jump into a little bit more about the actual handle and how it affects like the functionality a little bit later. Let's move down. We've got the shoulder straps, super comfortable shoulder straps. More on the firm side, the mesh is really nice actually, but like they're pretty thin. but they feel great, man. Like they just got a really nice feel and they sit on the torso and the upper chest like really nicely. That'll go down into the sternum strap. The sternum strap is pretty basic. It is removable. You can go ahead and pop it off if you want. It's not the easiest one to take off. Come on, don't embarrass me. Actually, for me, this side always seems to come off a little bit easier. But yeah, more or less removable sternum strap. With that sternum strap, the buckle is fine. Really not a lot to be said. I just wish that there was the nylon dangle holder right there to kind of keep that chest dangle out of the game. But you know, the dangle lives another day. Moving down, we have more dangle right here, which sucks. So dude, just give me the little nylon strap. It would have cost like a half of a penny and I can keep my dangle out of the way. But while it comes to the dangle, it's not so great. When it comes to comfort, these shoulder straps rock. One little side thing here is we have a hidden back pocket. I've never actually used this pocket. A, because I forget about it. And B, it doesn't feel like super hidden to me. Like it's kind of like, it's obvious there's a pocket there. I think it's supposed to be like some safety, like secret pocket, but it's visible to me. And also it's just kind of hard to get to. Yeah, like if you want to open it, you have to do like this thing, which is weird. I could have just done without that altogether. Okay, but now let's jump into some major criticism that I have for the Nomatic Backpack, and it is this back panel. Not the comfort feels fine. It's actually got this here, bring it in a little close. It's got a nice little like foam to it, man. I actually find it really comfortable. It's pretty well ventilated. I think there could be a little bit better ventilation, but it works. It can get a little plastered to your back though. I think that's more because of the material than it is the actual like design. It can get a little back sweaty, plastery kind of a feel, but it's a decent enough of ventilation and the comfort is great. But here's what I don't like about it. So Nomatic made a system that you can unbuckle right here, hide the strap, and then rebuckle, and then you can transform it from a backpack into like a briefcase, I guess. Here's the problem though. A, it's a bitch to do, and B, it doesn't look that good. Let's start with part A. Let me show you, and this is gonna be me going as fast as possible. Let's see how long it takes me to actually do. All right, timer, I want it on my left side. Begin. That was without a doubt a world record breaking time. I've never done it that fast. So I guess on the bright side, you get better at it the more and more you practice it. But let's talk about why it's so difficult. A, you've got all this excess dangle, okay? So you're trying to shove that all in there and get it in there and wedge it in there and keep it in there. And then B, you got this buckle system. Now maybe just when it was new, it was difficult for me to kind of unbuckle and rebuckle. Maybe it's getting easier with time, but man, I've had some times where I couldn't buckle this thing for minutes at a time. It was a nightmare. Now it seems like it works a little bit better, but like I said, I don't like this feature for two reasons. A, it's difficult to do, but B, I don't think it looks like that great. So the whole concept is like, oh, now it's a briefcase. And it's like, kind of, dude. Kind of. I don't know, man, because like I said, I don't really love the feel of these side handles, so I'm not like super excited to go into briefcase mode and to start carrying it with this handle. And on top of it, I just don't really like the way that it looks as a briefcase, but I love the way it looks and feels as a backpack, so I'm just gonna keep it as a backpack all the time. And on top of it, you're like, well, Aaron, just use this handle. So let's bring it back to this guy. So when you now are like, oh, I'll just carry it with this, right? Well, because it's connected to the shoulder straps, you end up pulling it out. So now you got this weird thing where the shoulder straps are like bursting out of the top, okay, and the handle's there, and you know, if you're trying to have this like sexy business backpack, it just looks like, what the hell is growing in that thing? So you're like, oh, I'm done now, and you're like, well, I gotta like push this back in. It's just kind of like logistically, it doesn't all like sync up. So Nomatic, I see what you're trying to do here. Y'all are innovators. Y'all are a bunch of badass backpack makers. I just don't think this worked out very well, and I just personally wish you would have been like, hey, this is a backpack, and we're going to market it as a backpack, and we're going to remove this whole thing and charge $40 less and just keep it as the world's best digital nomad backpack, because I will never, ever, ever, ever use it like this. All right, dudes, we are done with our breakdown of the Nomatic Backpack. Now we're gonna take it back to the co-working space where I'm gonna tell you the overall pros of this bag, the overall cons, and I'll let you know exactly who this pack is perfect for and who it's not for. I'll see you there. Okay guys, welcome to my co-working space where we're gonna continue to break the Nomatic Backpack down for you so you can know whether or not it's a great fit for you. Let's do the overall pros of the Nomatic Backpack. Pro number one, the aesthetics. I think Nomatic really does two things well, and that's their functionality and it's their look, because if you look at this backpack, it is a sexy hunk of meat. It looks great. It can be used in a casual environment. It can be used in a business environment, and everything in between. The look is awesome. Pro number two is the next level organization. If you are a digital nomad or a business professional, or you just carry a laptop around and a bunch of other tech gear on a day-to-day basis, then the organization of this backpack is literally on another level. Chargers, keyboards, mouses, is it mice? Batteries, phone chargers, all that stuff. If that sounds like you're carrying it all on a day-to-day basis and you want a pocket for all of it, then this Nomatic Backpack is going to be a game changer for you. And the third overall pro of the Nomatic Backpack is the feel. Whether it's the really nice exterior tarpaulin, or the great interior materials, or the YKK zippers, or just the way that it feels and the overall comfort when you're wearing it, this bag feels great, it's comfortable, it's just a joy to kind of carry on a day-to-day basis. But now, let's look at three cons. Overall con number one, I'm sure, as you may have guessed, is this disaster of a back panel transitioning into a duffel type thing. The buttons were so difficult to button and unbutton. When you actually hid the shoulder strap behind the back panel, it was all bloated and just looked blobby. And finally, when you pulled on the actual handle, the shoulder straps were being yanked out of the actual back panel, creating just another nightmare on top of a nightmare. Overall, I like where Nomatic's idea was, but the implementation and execution really lacks for me, and I just wish that this feature was gone altogether. Overall con number two is the features. Now I know what you're saying, I included the features as the pros, but there's something you have to take into consideration. Not everyone needs this much organization, and for most people, like 80% of people, especially if you don't work with a laptop, all these pockets and nooks and crannies and cubbies and thingies, it's gonna be really, really overkill for you. And what's the point of paying for all that excess stuff if you don't need it? And finally, con number three is the scratchability of the exterior materials. Now, while I like the smooth tarpaulin, it looks great and it feels great and it's durable, that durability has like a little asterisk, and that's that while it's durable, don't scratch it. Because as you can see right here, as I showed you earlier, we got a little scratch, and I've used backpacks with this material, and if you get one big ass scratch on there, man, you cannot buff that out. That is the bag's new look. Now, for some people, you're not gonna mind because you like a little bit of character, a little bit extra, scarring on the backpack's not terrible. But some people want to maintain that sleekness, that new sort of look, and the exterior materials can compromise that. So all things considered, all the pros and all the cons, I give the Nomatic Backpack an overall score of 4.5 out of 5. Really, if it weren't for the back panel up, this would get a perfect 5 out of 5 rating for me for what it is for a digital nomad daily carry backpack. So now let's conclude with the most important part, who I think this backpack is perfect for and who it's not perfect for. The Nomatic Backpack is gonna be perfect for you if you work on a laptop and are looking for a day pack. Nothing more needs to be said. It's so good at this that it's astonishing. Like if you're used to carrying your office with you, on your bag, your office on a day-to-day basis, then this is possibly the best way to carry that office. This backpack is also perfect for you if you're looking for a pack with a ton of functionality and pockets. Even if you don't necessarily work on your laptop, but sometimes you're traveling with your laptop or maybe your iPad, or you got a bunch of tech stuff, maybe you got some photography gear. If you just in general need a backpack that it has lots of pockets for lots of different stuff, then the Nomatic Backpack probably has the most pockets on the market, and you're not gonna find this type of organization anywhere else. If that sounds like you, the type of person who could use this backpack, then please do yourself a favor and click the links in the description below. If you do end up making a purchase, we get a small little kickback at no extra cost to you, and that keeps the channel running and the lights on. But on the flip side, let's talk about who this backpack is not for. This backpack is not for you if you're looking for a normal everyday carry. If you're looking for a day-to-day backpack, the good news about this is that the range of 20 to 24 liters is right in the size that you want to be. The bad news is that the $260 US price tag is because of all these pockets and all of these tech compartments. And if you're not working online, if you're not a digital nomad, you're not gonna need all this stuff. It's gonna be overkill and you're paying too much for a bag that does more than you need. Number two, this backpack is not gonna be the pack for you if you're looking for a longer term, larger travel pack. Why? Because this bad boy is 20 and expands to 24 liters, which is just way too small. But if you love the Nomatic look and the Nomatic style and you want a larger travel pack, then be excited because Nomatic has other options. Check the links below and I'll link to specifically the Nomatic travel pack and the 30 and 40 liter Nomatic travel bag. Those are a larger literage, higher capacity, so they'll be so much better for long-term travel. And finally, this backpack is not for you if you are looking for a backpack that can carry photography gear. Now I know I'm kind of contradicting myself. I said if you have some photography gear, you can use this, and you can, but if you're a real serious photographer and you're lugging around a ton of DSLR equipment, then there are amazing photography design backpacks just for you. If that sounds like you and you're looking for a more professional level photography / DSLR backpack, check the links below for some of my favorite photography backpacks. There's so many. I got Boundary Supply, Peak Design, WANDRD, check the links below. If you have stuck around this long, then it is because one reason you're in love with me. No, it's because you like backpack reviews. And if that sounds like you, then do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button below. It lets us know we're doing a great job, and also you'll be notified whenever we do more awesome backpack reviews or travel content or digital nomad content, all of it. And like I said, if you do end up making a purchase, please use the links below. We'll get a small little kickback at no extra cost to you, and that's what keeps the lights on and keeps us making dope ass backpack review videos. Guys, we are finished. Thank you so much for watching this insanely, massively huge Nomatic backpack review. That's all, and we'll see you next time.